per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good morning, good evening, good middle of the night to I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams live in Boston. So where's the snow and where's the wind? What is going on with Neptune? I'll let you know in a live report.
All right, thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning now as a continuing coverage of Winter Storm Neptune. I'm Ray Staples.
And I'm Danielle Banks. Right now, we have 78 million people under winter alerts due to the winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
Yeah, more than 113 million under some sort of wind chill alert. Very dangerous cold, and we've got some high wind alerts also in effect as the wind chill combined with cold temperatures and the snow certainly making it for one nasty early now Sunday morning East Coast time as we're watching our alerts continue to come out not only for the storm but also for wind chill. Wind chill's well below zero in many places, and the warnings in effect and even blizzard warnings. The areas in pink here this morning, and that's where we are showing the worst of the conditions now. Here's the water vapor showing things just starting to get together when you start seeing the colors or the pinks, and might even make a case for some red in here. This is where we are starting to see some development. And looking at the pressure falls too, that's another indicator of a strengthening storm. We're starting to see pressure falls right down here off the Jersey Shore now, starting to see maybe the main area of low pressure develop and head on off toward the north. So it's probably going to get worse before it gets any better, especially in the areas that do have blizzard warnings down through the Cape and even eastern Long Island, where we are expecting to see the heaviest of the snow. But the wind, this has also been the story. We've had a couple 100,000 or over 100,000 power outages from this storm already. The wind in the wake of the Arctic front continuing to rip now. Some of the gusts in Altoona, 36 miles an hour, almost 40 miles an hour down near Roanoke. That's tropical storm force wind gusts, and the winds will continue to howl. We've got reports of damage, and you throw that in with the cold and the wind chill. A very cold night. If you're up with us here early on this Sunday morning, you've got snow in through Jersey now around Atlantic City, down toward the Wildwoods even, and even down near Cape May, a little bit of snow coming on in. And as you can see, this looks like is where we are seeing that main area of low pressure starting to develop. But with this snow here, even in parts of down East Maine, some reports of near 17 inches of snow already, and there's more to come as the low continues to track on up toward the north and northeast. Bigger view on the radar showing not only the snow but also the winds now gusting to 20 miles an hour in New York City, and also back toward Binghamton, some of the gusts near 26. So this is what it looks like right now. We're starting to see the snow move on in, and we'll see more snow as we head through the morning. Danielle?
All right, somebody who's definitely getting a first-hand view of that snow is our Stephanie Abrams. We're going to go to her now live in Boston to bring us up to date on what's happening there. Hi, Steph.
Well, hey guys, you know, Danielle and Ray, I just want to kind of have a conversation because, listen, we've been here for like a month straight with all these storms, right? So you've seen it. You see that we have this light, fluffy snow. We're all well aware of that. The roads you can see behind me, they're totally fine. Sidewalks, look, this one's not the cleanest, but I've got to tell you, Boston is doing a remarkable job with the cleanup. I've got to give them, you know, a high five, a little fist bump, because most of the sidewalks are clean and the streets are good and they're doing the best they can with what they have. But you guys, I want to talk about the changes that we're going to see. You know, Ray and Danielle, our temperatures within an hour went from the 30s to the 20s, and it all has to do with wind direction. We need to focus on wind with this storm, right? I mean, we had that southerly wind, and now we're from a north-northwest. And let's talk about the heat in the ocean that's going to make this thing intensify. Yeah, pressure's going to drop. When pressure drops, as you guys know, that means the wind's going to pick up. That's what people need to watch, I think, Ray, is that number, that pressure drop.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Steph, the greatest pressure falls down to your south, and that looks like where we're starting to see the development now. Looks like you're covered up pretty good. Got a wind chill right now, I think, of 4 above. I mean, it doesn't look like there's much wind right now. I mean, how's it feel right now in terms of the wind?
You know, I got to tell you, 0 wind. 0 wind for all intents and purposes. Look, is it maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 5 miles an hour type of a thing? Okay, fine. But there's really no wind, Ray. But once we see that number drop, and I was talking to the Mets this morning, you know, dropping down around 970, maybe upper 960s, just to give perspective, strongest hurricane. Remember, it used to be Wilma. Before Wilma, it was, oh, I'm having a mental block now. It's in the middle of the night for me, so I can't think straight exactly. 888. What was 888? What was the name?
I'm drawing a blank, too.
Middle of the night.
Thank you.
Was it Gilbert or Camille? No, I don't know if it was Camille, but
no, it was Gilbert. It was Gilbert. It was Gilbert
low.
for sure. And then Wilma beat that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, low pressure, and we are starting to see low pressure now. And I'd imagine your winds are going to start picking up, and it is going to start getting worse before it gets better.
Very much so.
Yeah, it is, you guys. I mean, look, like I said, we had a southerly wind because this thing, was off a little bit to our west. So on the east side of a low pressure, you get that southerly wind. As it's going to come up the coast and pass us, the winds start to shift around, that north-northwest wind. So that's going to, A, bring in the colder air, and B, everyone watch those pressure drops. The numbers are going to fall with our low pressure. So the lower the pressure gets, the stronger it is. And one of the reasons is you have that warmth, relatively speaking, over the Atlantic Ocean. So that's one of the things that's going to fuel this, as well as that upper level support. You guys always say the atmosphere is like a hamburger, right? So we're at the bottom bun, that upper level low, a little bit back off to the west. When they are positioned like that, that means you can have a storm intensify.
Yeah, absolutely. We should see things deteriorating now as we go through the next couple of hours. So are looking at Stephanie Abrams right now, pretty quiet, but we think the wind's going to start ripping, and really going to be a big windstorm now as we watch Neptune start getting wrapped up now, and the snow will start increasing, and we should see more snow and more wind as we head through the next couple of hours. Danielle.
All right, thanks, guys. Let's talk a little bit more about specifics on the wind chill, as Steph was just showing you a moment ago and talking about that wind chill currently at 4 above. It's going to be so much more intense than that, of course, as we journey through the back half of the weekend and, of course, continue towards the beginning of the week. Let's go ahead and talk about what you can expect in terms of specifics. You see that bitterly cold air is not just going to be impacting the Northeast. It's going to be extending all the way down across sections of the South as well. We're going to be looking at temperatures that range just alone 15 to 25 degrees below average. Let's get, again, more on the specifics of the timing of when we have the biggest concerns for frostbite. We're talking about situations where you could get this in just a matter of minutes if you have any exposed skin. So we're looking at this going in from now all the way pouring through Sunday. You can see where that cold air is really penetrating, just getting closer and closer towards the coast. We're looking at wind chill values that are well below zero for interior portions of the Northeast and just extending further and further north. And of course, the cold air continues to dip further south as well. We do want everyone to take this very, very seriously. Again, cover up even if you think you're going to have to be outside for just a matter of minutes, because that's really how little time it can take. We're talking exposure time in Boston, 30 minutes or less for frostbite. Very dangerous indeed, right?
All right, thanks, Danielle. It's certainly going to be a cold one out there. The winds are going to be ripping. An important morning ahead for millions in the path of 2 dangerous winter storms. Up next, we'll go live to Plymouth, Massachusetts. Mike Seidel, he is there. The area under a blizzard warning until Monday morning. Stay tuned.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go.
Brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.
Lowe's presents How to Accidentally Invent a New Word.
This new living room is so you. It's so...
sophisticated.
Exactly. Sophisticated.
Get Valspar Ultra Interior Paint now at a new lower price at Lowe's.
From the very start, I wanted Fitcore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do, because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
Stay true to yourself. You can do this how you want to do it, and somebody else is going to think that's awesome and want to do it that way too.
Vistaprint.com.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bet.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 52 degrees under clear skies. Tonight, mostly clear, low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, mainly sunny, high 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy, low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
It's going to be a wild day out here as the storm cranks up. Driving is not recommended.
Live coverage continues in a moment, only on the Weather Channel.
Omega-3s are essential for our heart health. We find omega-3s in fish and nuts, but even with a healthy diet, many people don't get enough. That's why omega-3 supplements can help support your heart health.
Megared is an omega-3 supplement recognized by the Hope Heart Institute. Research shows omega-3s may reduce the risk of coronary heart disease. Megared omega-3 krill oil is easily absorbed by the body, and it's just one small pill. Support your heart health with Megared.
When you set out to find new roads, you obsess over perfection. Evolve function, elevate form, and create the highest quality midsize sedan. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company of 2014. Now during the Chevy President's Day sale, current GM owners can choose an eligible Cruze and stock the longest and get $3,500 total cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
All right, Winter Storm Neptune in Virginia. This video sent in to us from Dave Hartman. It shows the wind. You can even hear a little bit of it there. And the snow as it rolled on in Saturday night.
Yeah, and evidenced by that picture, the wind is really, I mean, just look at that tree in the background, just blowing the branches all over the place. And people are still out there gripping those steering wheels, white-knuckling it for sure.
Yeah, and reports of power outages already. I mean, the wind has really been coming in with the Arctic front heading south-southeast. And here's what we know right now about Winter Storm Neptune. Boston bans parking, no public transit all day. Storm surge concern. Around 7:30 this morning, that's the next high tide. And we've got power outages across Virginia, North Carolina due to high wind and whiteouts. Whiteout crash kills 4 from Indiana to Ohio.
Yeah, really hate to hear about that. That's why all of the officials are continuing to tell people to stay off of the roads. It's even dangerous for emergency vehicles to be out there to assist in those situations because the visibility is down so low.
Yeah, and the wind still a huge concern from Maine to North Carolina. We're up to more than 250,000 people without power, primarily in Virginia, North Carolina. That wind and blowing snow led to some whiteout conditions. Neptune moved on through, and yeah, unfortunately, reports of those accidents and fatalities.
Well, let's talk about the Northeast as well. The blizzard warnings in place from Boston to Bangor, Maine, and behind that, just some of the coldest temperatures that we've seen in nearly 2 decades. Mike Seidel, of course, another of our fantastic reporters that are in the field tonight from Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Danielle. Good morning, Ray. Out here on an early sunny morning here in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where the weather is unusually tranquil. This is not going to last much longer. We're talking about another 3 to 4 hours. The wind and the snow is going to come back. We already had 4 inches of snow. We'll take you back. This is right around sundown, about 5:30 this on Saturday afternoon out here in Plymouth. And this is when it started adding up again. 4 to 5 inches here in Plymouth County. We've had as much as 7.5 inches down in Providence County in Rhode Island. So a good early start to the storm. Now we're going to get more snow, and the wind is going to pick up the snow. Now, it's relatively powdery, but when you throw it up right now, it just comes straight down because we don't have any wind. Throw about a 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gust into the equation, and we're going to have a giant snow globe out here, and this is likely going to continue until Monday morning. Not falling snow, but blowing and drifting snow, the ground blizzards. So that's why the blizzard warning is up until 7 a.m. Monday morning. Also, unlike with Juno and Linus and Marcus, this air coming in behind these storms is much, much colder, and the wind chills are going to be down well below zero. We think by Monday morning across southeast Mass, many areas 20, even 25 below zero. Those are dangerous wind chills, and you can get frostbitten very quickly. Right now, the water out here in Plymouth Harbor is glassy. because we've had hardly any wind. That's going to change too very quickly towards sunrise. And high tide 7:30, 8 o'clock. We are going to get some overwash in spots, including Marshfield and Scituate, but we don't expect it to be as serious as it was 3 weeks ago with Juno because of the phase of the moon and the overall wind direction. This is going to pull out. We're going to have an offshore wind certainly by early on Sunday afternoon. So Ray, very, very quiet right now, but check in with Jim Cantore after about 5 or 6 in the morning. It'll be a whole different world out here in Plymouth.
All right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, it certainly looks like things are going to get worse before they get any better. Then after Neptune passes, we'll have to deal with Winter Storm Octavia. Already winter weather advisories covering a lot of the southeast, including Atlanta and Birmingham. Schools closing in the Atlanta metro area. You know, Cobb County is closed where my kids go to school because we've got a little change in the jet stream now, finally getting the colder air south. We're going to run moisture over the top of this dome of cold air, and we are expecting to get mixed precipitation. That could be in the form of sleet, freezing rain along the stalled front with the moisture coming in over that colder air at the surface. Expect it to get interesting as we head on through the beginning of the week.
How do I get hotel deals nobody else gets? I know a guy.
Priceline Negotiator.
I know this guy, Codolito, and this guy who knows a guy.
Hey, guy.
I know a guy in New York, Vegas, Dallas. I've known some guys for decades, and some, nice to meet you. Let's deal. My competitors may know a guy, but I know over 60,000 guys. And gals.
Exclusive hotel deals up to 60% off. Priceline.com.
Here's our new trainer, Ensure Active Heart Health.
I maximize good stuff, like my potassium, and phytosterols, which may help lower cholesterol.
New Ensure Active Heart Health supports your heart and body so you stay active and strong. Ensure. Take life in.
Everything in separate bins, people. Computers, shoes. You can't put two in one.
At Intel, they make technology that lets a device be a laptop and a tablet, so you can put two in one.
No, you can't.
Can.
Can't.
Can.
Intel. This is where it all changes.
See, it's like two things in one. You're like a mermaid or one of those horse guy people.
You mean like a centaur?
See, you can.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom, no problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
If you've ever wondered how you're going to survive another harsh winter, or stay dry from torrential rain showers, or savor the last warm rays of sun, step inside the Jeep Grand Cherokee and wonder no more. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most awarded SUV ever. Well-qualified lessees can lease the 2015 Grand Cherokee Laredo for $349 a month.
This Valentine's Day weekend, you can really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free this Thursday through Monday only.
We build weather inventions.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked?
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe.
Did you or a loved one work on an oil and gas drilling rig between the years 1963 and 1985? Do you or a family member have lung cancer or mesothelioma, or did your loved one die from lung cancer or mesothelioma? If so, you and your family may be entitled to compensation. For free information, call the offices of James C. Farrell 24 hours a day at 1-800-676-7845. Call now, 1-800-676-7845.
Fresh, fun, informative. It's Fox and Friends. Weekday mornings, pull up a seat and join Steve, Elizabeth, and Brian on the curvy couch. Get a jump start on the important stories, hot topics, and issues everyone will be talking about. Plus, you never know who's going to stop by or what's going to happen next. Get in on the conversation weekday mornings on Fox and Friends.
Azure,
Waterfront living. Perfected. Call today for a personal appointment.
The shipping and even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We'll take a look at just how dangerous things were today. This is out of West Virginia, a toll road near Ghent. Visibility less than a quarter of a mile. The road completely covered with snow. Ray, you can see just how slowly everybody's going, which is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, that's what they call whiteout conditions. Even over in State College, we saw whiteout conditions earlier on Saturday. This video from Teresa Lunsford, as she certainly caught it right there. Visibility's down to almost, I can't see a thing. So dangerous stuff out there. And down East Maine could also see some heavy snowfall, and I'm expecting we'll see some of those snow totals come in over a foot. We've already seen that in parts of Maine from Winter Storm Neptune. And meteorologist Keith Carson is in Portland, a city bracing for another 5 to 8 inches and 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Well, here in Portland, Maine, it's been snowing through the afternoon hours, and we picked up a couple of inches already. Down to the south, over a foot of snow being reported down towards Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and into Old Orchard Beach. This is where some of the heavier bands have been rotating in. Look, still the same problem that we had when we were here for Winter Storm Marcus, which wasn't all that long ago. We still have a ton of snow. None of it is melted, and it's going to be blowing all over the place as we head into the day tomorrow. Winds on the backside of the storm system could be gusting over 50, 60 miles an hour. As far as street conditions go, you know, I've said it before, and it's definitely the case here in Maine. They're good at clearing snow when they need to, but there's going to be a period of time during the overnight hours where they're going to be a little bit more laissez-faire with it, telling people just not to travel, or if you're going to do so, you just got to be really careful. So we'll watch the winds kick up through the day on Sunday. This thing should be out of here as we head into Sunday night, but after it, brutal cold lingers around. Back to you.
All right, Keith, thanks. And yeah, Neptune now starting to get cranked up here out over the Atlantic. And yeah, we're already seeing on the water vapor some thunder, some lightning showing up on the lightning tracker, but also some higher, colder cloud tops here, the colorized area. But it looks like the greatest pressure falls are down a little further toward the south. It looks like this is going to be where the main area of low pressure is going to be now, as the snow is starting to pick up just a bit in and around coastal parts of Jersey, believe it or not, as one batch has gone on through up out across down East Maine, where up to 17 inches of snow has been reported already. And the wind, another story. It's been taking power out all the way as far south as parts of the Carolinas and through the mid-Atlantic states. Some of the winds gusting now in D.C. 47 miles per hour, easily tropical storm force. Down in Roanoke, gusting to tropical storm force at 39 miles per hour. So you've got a wind element. We've got the snow element here coming east now of Philadelphia, right along the Garden State, and probably passing just south of New York City, but we are expecting the low to develop and take that turn on up the coast and clip the eastern parts of New England here, as this batch of snow coming in, bringing in some heavy snow along I-95 here early this morning, and then this kind of little break in the action down where Stephanie Abrams is and Mike Seidel over in Plymouth. And it's going to come back, though. We do want to emphasize that. We're just kind of in between areas of low pressure as that first disturbance passes north. Current winds right now about 14 miles per hour out of Boston's Logan. New York City about 6. You saw just about a half an inch of snowfall, but you may get a little bit more here now as we start seeing this low pressure develop out off the East Coast and head on up the coast, too. So here we go. As we go through the morning hours, starting to see the snow mainly light here and scattered around. But as you can see, there's that patch of heavier snow in down East Maine. And we'll continue to watch as we go through the morning hours. the heavier snow start to fill in. That's that batch of precipitation down toward the south here, rolling on up the north, and blizzard conditions expected. You factor in the winds, 35 miles per hour sustained. That's what we are expecting, along with the snow and the blowing snow. And we've got ourselves a blizzard. That's why the blizzard warnings are issued. By 12 o'clock on Monday morning, snow is east, and we'll watch another patch of light snow come in off the lakes, and then we'll just assess what we've seen. Danielle?
Well, special coverage of Winter Storm Neptune and Octavia continues in just minutes. Of course, we've got snow falling right now in a region hit by 4 consecutive winter storms. This video you're looking at out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We're going to show you where the heaviest snow is falling right now when we return.
My name is Daniel. I have diabetic nerve pain. The pain felt like my feet were on fire. I had these very burning, needle-like sensations. I knew I needed to see a doctor. My doctor said, let's try Lyrica. Lyrica has helped relieve my pain.
It's known that diabetes damages nerves. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is not for everyone. It may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these. New or worsening depression or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, changes in eyesight including blurry vision, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or skin sores from diabetes. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Having less pain, it's a great feeling.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica today. It's specific treatment for diabetic nerve pain.
I'm at St. Jude because I had a cancer inside of me. They diagnosed me with a brain tumor. You have to be strong and don't give up. Attitude is everything. You have to fight.
Imagine your doctor tells you your child has cancer with only months to live. Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you turn to? Fortunately, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is fighting every day to save children's lives. And with a gift of just $19 a month, you can join the fight.
This is my kid that they're giving back to me. I am so grateful.
At St. Jude, no family ever receives a bill. In fact, no family pays St. Jude for anything. That's why your gift of $19 a month, just 63 cents a day, is so important.
When I thought that I might lose my son, they gave me hope. You are not only saving a child's life, you're breathing life back into that family.
If I hadn't come here, I wouldn't have my son.
St. Jude's life-saving research and treatment is shared freely with hospitals around the world.
St. Jude gives you hope and happiness. They're helping us live. Maybe in the future, kids won't have to go through this. We'll find a cure and it'll all be over.
Please, call and become a St. Jude Partner in Hope right now.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
It's going to be a wild day out here as the storm cranks up. Driving is not recommended.
Live coverage continues in a moment, only on the Weather Channel.
Hey, here's what it looked like yesterday on Interstate 79. New video out of Pennsylvania. Runs north and south between West Virginia and Erie. The interstate got hit with a heavy snow squall Saturday afternoon. That same line that eventually moved into and brought more of the same to D.C. and Baltimore. And welcome back now to our extended coverage of two major winter storms. We're tracking Neptune in the northeast and Octavia now out across the south.
Double duo, but it is Neptune that currently has our attention. We want you to take a look at all of the winter storm alerts that are piled up across the northeast, and for very good reason.
Yeah, the one that stands out here, the blizzard warnings. And, you know, we're going to go to Stephanie in just a second. When you see it, you're kind of like, well, what's going on? We're kind of in between now what was one round of snow and then the main low coming in. So blizzard warnings cover Boston, New York City even alert.
That's right. But the look outside right now is not the way that it is going to stay. And, of course, there for all of those changes as they're going to be happening and on the ground is our very own Stephanie Abrams. Let's go to her right now because it was definitely an interesting Valentine's for sure.
Yeah, and with the winter weather alert, Steph, you know, not seeing much right now, but Valentine's Day, how did everybody handle it?
You know, it's funny you ask that because on the front of the Boston Globe, there's a bunch of flowers, Ray, and it says, they all say, am I too late? Now, Ray, all I've got to say is this town knows what's important. Getting the flowers for your loved one, right? It's like all these piles, the train is shut down, schools are shut down, but they got flowers into the city, that's for sure.
Well, that's good news. That's good. And any deliveries for yourself?
I know, Keith got a rose.
Please, I've been single for so long, I've just given up at this point. I'm waving the white flag as they are also on the cover of the Boston Globe, by the way, guys. You probably can't read this, but it says in the news, and where it shows the forecast for Saturday and Sunday, it has snow, and it literally says white flag. Though I feel like we need to change that because there's so much snow, you're not going to see anything. We need, like, waving the, I don't know, fluorescent orange flag.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Absolutely. And, you know, no snow right now, Steph. I think maybe people are being lulled into a false sense of security. I think things are going to be changing over the next couple of hours.
You know,
just a touch.
I don't think anyone, no one really has a false sense of security. I think that there's just so much snow and it's been such a bad winter. It's kind of like normal at this point. I mean, when we were walking over here from a hotel, you guys, there were a ton of people out. Look, it's a Saturday night. Everything's fine. Tomorrow, everyone will stay home. But, you know, Ray and Danielle, my favorite thing is we have so many layers on. I mean, we were joking about how it's hard to walk and all these layers. And you legit see girls who are like in stockings and the dress and like just the coat. And you're like, oh, it's so cold. But, you know, for fashion, you do it. It's like you have that moment where you're like, I probably won't be outside for too long. I think I can handle it. And then you're outside and you're like, I really should have had the thicker jacket or the jeans on.
You didn't want to go with the stockings and the, no, you didn't want to go with that, Steph?
Wait, what'd you say, Ray? I missed it.
I said Saturday night out. I said you didn't want to go with the stockings and the light jacket and the more casual look?
Yeah. No, I decided to go a little bit thicker because it's, you know, a smidge cold when you're standing out here. But how many times have you been in that? Well, you guys haven't. Danielle, you can relate to this. When even you're like, it's a little bit cold, but I still want to wear the strapless or whatever it is. I can deal. And you know what? You can. But by the way, to turn it into a more serious note, as we head into tomorrow, you're not going to be able to, right? Because our wind chills are going to be 20 below in a lot of locations. So that's the time where, listen up, it doesn't matter what you think or how cute you're trying to be. You got to put on the layers.
Yeah, cover up, leave a little more to the imagination. So there you go with that. That's my advice, especially on a night like this.
Yeah, and I think that's great advice. You know, we'll continue to watch the winds pick up and temperatures go down, especially that feels like temperature. And, you know, we're expecting things to be changing over the next hour or two. So I definitely think things will look a little different for Stephanie by sunrise.
For sure. We're going to, of course, continue to check back in with her as well.
All right, Steph, what else you got for us? Anything good coming out of Boston here early this morning?
Oh, okay. let's see. I'm trying to think, Ray. You know, it's one of these instances where we're out here like waiting for the storm, and I'm like, okay, weather-wise, we had temperatures in the 20s, and we dropped to the 30s with our wind shifting from the south to the north. People were walking around. I was flying up here. Here's a good one, guys. I was talking to the woman on the plane next to me, and she has a house on the Cape and also in the city. And she was telling me that it's been weeks since she dug her car out, and she's a consultant. So every time she flies back in, she just rents a car. Instead of digging her car out, she said, forget it. I'm just going to rent a car, drive it around for a few days, and then bring it back to the airport. So that's what she's doing in order for safe. Isn't that a good idea?
I think that's a great idea. I mean, you know, it probably gets a little costly, but certainly, you know, people doing whatever they can.
It doesn't. By the way, Priceline. You can Priceline cars. I didn't know about this either. I said, hotels are, I think, a little like sketch me out sometimes. But if you're going to Priceline a car's a car from a major company. So you're good to go. She said it was like $10 with her wizard number on Avis over the weekend or something like that. It's not expensive, actually.
No, it's probably better than having to get in there and dig out your car, especially with the cold. And a lot of those cars probably locked in now in the snow and ice. All right, let's take it over to Danielle now.
Yeah, it'd be also interesting, guys, to talk about Uber, too, and see how they're doing, if they have more Uber drivers step up or step down in situations like this. Well, let's take a look at the situation in Philadelphia. Currently 21 degrees, overnight low as we continue through the night, going down to around 2 above. So remember, we're still talking about desperately, bitterly cold wind chill values. And remember that so many of the shelters are still asking for donations of blankets, water, toilet paper. In a lot of these locations, they're dealing with this extreme cold. Here is a look at D.C. where we've got wind gusts right now. These are the gusts of close to 50 miles per hour. Your sustained winds at 20 miles per hour. Richmond, my hometown where I grew up, 38 mile per hour winds. I guarantee you the people in Richmond right now are not loving that at all. Here's a look at where our snow is still falling. As we pull out here, you can see some of this a little bit heavier just north and east of downtown Philly, pulling even further up. You can certainly see what we have going on around Maine. We've been talking about down East Maine a lot and how you're going to continue to get blasted there along the I-95 corridor, and especially through here in this particular section of it all the way through late tomorrow night. Here's a look at the current winds. As Steph was just showing you in Boston, they've been varying anywhere between 5-15 miles an hour. We're showing a 14 mile per hour sustained wind at this time, but of course we know that is going to intensify dramatically as we go through the next few hours, and then of course at times off and on throughout the day on Sunday. Here we go further into the afternoon on Sunday. You can see by the time we get into the evening time frame transitioning over as we switch the clock over to midnight Monday, greeting you on President's Day. We are still going to be dealing with some residual snow as well as the wind. Now as we continue, of course, going through the overnight time frame with Winter Storm Neptune, let's talk about that wind intensification. Again, you see it really picking up about 3 to 4 hours from now, and then still we could be dealing with some extreme gusts by the time we get into Monday, traditional drive time. But of course, it's a bank holiday and a lot of schools are off for this day on Monday, and with winds like that and snow whipping around, very good reason to see President's Day falling alongside with this at the timing wise. So at least a lot of people will not have to go to work or school, right?
Yeah, that's right. And actually out across the south, people not going to school. In Atlanta, that's one spot. Currently 41 degrees. Winter storm watch starting Monday morning. And that starts at 1 o'clock. So expecting some wintry weather in the south. And yeah, 41 degrees now. It was like 53 when I came in. I said, you know what, this is going to feel different when I get home because the winds were already starting to rip. And I said, here comes that front, and it's going to get cold. And that's why Weather Service offices locally from Memphis to Little Rock to Fort Smith and over toward the east into Atlanta have issued winter storm watches. The watch meaning that winter storm conditions or winter weather is possible within 36 hours. So you go to warning, and then you really start to ticking things up a little bit. Jet stream now has finally filtered the cold air down toward the south. Well, what's that mean for you? It means cold air in place at the surface, and you only need a shallow layer. And with moisture coming over the top of it, and with 32-degree air or lower, which we are expecting or pretty close to it, we'll expect that moisture to overrun that cold air. Weak low pressure system will pass south. Snow and ice threat into that colder air as we head on through the early part of the week. So a lot of people off on Monday anyway. But look at these snow totals right along Interstate 40 here. There may be a general stripe of maybe 5 to 8 or 3 to 5 down near Atlanta, possibly an inch or so, especially up into the northern suburbs, possibly a little bit of icing. Stay tuned.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Want to know the cold truth? Stay tuned in 30 seconds for the answer.
I have the worst cold with this runny nose. I better take something.
Dayquil Cold and Flu doesn't treat your runny nose.
Seriously?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough fights your worst cold symptoms plus your runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Go to AlkaSeltzerPlus.com to learn more cold truths.
Lowe's presents How to Accidentally Invent a New Word.
This new living room is so you. It's so... sophisticated. Exactly. Sophisticated.
Get Valspar Ultra Interior Paint now at a new lower price at Lowe's.
New Move Free Ultra brings a revolution to joint health. It's the smallest joint health pill, now with a new triple action formula for joint, cartilage, and bone health. Move on to new Move Free Ultra.
Think of the long history the hot dog has had with the presidency. George Washington, I cannot eat a fry because I like hot dogs so much.
He said I cannot tell a lie.
Well, it's hard to understand him. He had wooden teeth.
Celebrate President's Day with Dollar Hot Dogs Monday, February 16th. This is how you Sonic.
Let's go!
Hold on to your bikini bottoms. Because the #1 movie in America is the ultimate treat.
If you ate all that, you'd have enough energy to run around the world.
What is this sugar gonna wear off? The SpongeBob Movie, rated PG.
Apples are good. As Strongbow Hard Cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
Please? No. Please? No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new pressure system that helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll soon begin experiencing pain relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities. But apply Be Active to the point in the calf muscle to relieve pain. The secret is the pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain to the nerve and lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Wow, I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
Be Active gives you the ability to be active again. Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit almost any leg. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now feel the freedom of being active again with the pressure point therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to feel quick back relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-732-6143. That's 1-800-732-6143. Or go online at beactivebrace.com. Call or click today. That's 1-800-732-6143.
I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel. Welcome back to Plymouth, where we do have some snowflakes now flying in front of the camera. Nothing like we had earlier. We picked up 4 inches earlier. Now the temperature down to 25 degrees. The wind chills are in the teens. And what you see out here is a lot of snow. We've had 3 storms, 3 big ones. We had Juno just about 3 weeks ago. Monday it'll be 3 weeks with 2 feet of snow. Earlier this week, or last Monday, we had another 2 feet of snow from Marcus. So what you're looking at is a lot of snow. It's kind of settled and compacted, but I dug down to the bare ground here, and I'll jump in here, and you can see how deep the snow is from all the storms we've had and how it's drifted, especially back there. So you climb on out of this snow, and this is the way it is all around southeast Massachusetts. And the problem now is, once these winds kick in the next 3 to 4 hours, all this snow is going to be blown around, especially the 5 inches of powder we picked up earlier on Saturday night, throwing more snow into the mix, and wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour. And that's the recipe for whiteouts, and that's why the blizzard warning continues until 7 a.m. Monday morning, even though the snow will stop falling sometime Sunday afternoon. It's just going to continue to be churned up like a giant snow globe. Other concern, power outages and the bitterly cold air coming in. Unlike with the previous 3 storms, this is the coldest air mass to follow the storms. We're looking at wind chills by Monday morning, anywhere from 20 to 25 below zero. It's going to take a while for the winds to back off, and it will still be blustery and very, very chilly with temperatures in the teens on Monday. Ray and Danielle?
All right, thank you so much, Mike. We really appreciate it. He is always jumping into a big pile of snow and just making it look like it's easy, but I assure you that it is not. We have also wanted to keep on bringing you updates from where we have various scenarios playing out, including Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. Guys, 18 degrees, wind chill there of 4 degrees. We're talking about really bitter blasts, of course, of air as we continue through the weekend, and it's not just the Northeast that, of course, is continuing to see those impacts. Now, we're going to continue to bring you updates on the wind chill warnings across sections of the South. Let's talk about some of the spots that are seeing the alerts right now, where we currently have wind advisories, high wind warnings in place in the areas in the deeper shades of purple across sections of Southwest Virginia. And trust me, into those mountains and driving up Interstate 81 is going to be very, very tough when those winds continue to intensify. Obviously, the dangerous wind chill values as we continue throughout the morning hours and all the way into early Monday is a huge concern. We're going to be looking at wind chill values anywhere between 20 and 25 below on average for sections of the interior Northeast. Right now, we've still been talking about the values of temperature readings and wind chill staying just a bit above zero right now for places like Boston, where our own Stephanie Abrams is. As we continue, of course, heading into the future of the day on Sunday, for so many of you, Sunday is already here, but for some, of course, playing across sections of the Midwest as well as the extreme West and the Pacific, you haven't officially arrived, but of course here across sections of the Southeast, it already is the case, and you're curious about how those temperatures are going to change. In comparison, cities like Atlanta, where you're currently parked at 48 degrees, didn't feel so bad. Oh, guys, it is quickly going to drop and be so extreme. We're going to be looking at winds gusting over 25 miles an hour. Temperatures early in the morning, of course, just diving down into the 20s and then stopping most part in the upper 30s around the metro. So there's going to be so many other spots that are much colder than that. Ray?
All right, thanks, Danielle. And coming up, a record-setting winter getting even worse in the Northeast. How cities across New England are preparing for Winter Storm Neptune. Plus, Weather Channel viewers sending in great video like this from Pennsylvania. This was recorded Saturday night in Sinking Springs. And don't forget to share your amazing video with us, your Neptune video with the Weather Channel all weekend. Hold your smartphone sideways and send it in.
Doug, we have the results. But first, we have a very special guest. Come on out, Flo. You have anything to say to Flo?
Nah, just let the results do the talking.
Well, he could do that. We show our Progressive Direct rate and the rates of our competitors, even if Progressive isn't the lowest.
It looks like Progressive is not the lowest. When we return, we'll find out whether Doug is the father. Wait, what?
weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Looks like the Garcias got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like a Buick.
Buick.
I'm outside. Where are you?
I'm right here. I'm in the Buick.
I don't see a Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
That's not a Buick. That's what I told him.
Wow. This is
nice. Oh, my.
Now during the Buick President's Day event, get $5,000 total cash back on select Buick sedans in stock the longest.
Everything in separate bins, people. Computers, shoes. You can't put two in one.
At Intel, they make technology that lets a device be a laptop and a tablet. So you can put two in one.
No, you can't.
Can.
Can't.
Can.
Intel. This is where it all changes.
See, it's like two things in one. You're like a mermaid or one of those horse guy people.
You mean like a centaur?
See, you can.
There's something happening right here in this country. It's the sound of America, working with American materials in American factories. At WeatherTech, all we do is create the highest quality automotive accessories, including laser-measured custom-fit floor liners. Order yours today.
Attention Xarelto users.
If you or a loved one has taken the blood-thinning drug Xarelto and suffered an injury or even died, you could be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Xarelto has been linked to internal bleeding, strokes, and pulmonary embolisms. If you or a loved one has taken the blood-thinning drug Xarelto and have been hospitalized for internal bleeding, you could be entitled to substantial financial compensation.
Don't be a silent victim. Time is limited to file your claim. Call now for free information and a free consultation.
Call 1-800-464-2410, 1-800-464-2410.
This President's Day weekend, the pen is mightier than ever because now you can drive a brand new Bev Smith Kia with just your signature. During the Presidential Signature event, sign and drive a new Sorento, 0 down, $299 a month, or a new Optima, 0 down, $279 a month. Plus, they're backed by our low price or it's free guarantee and free tires and batteries for life during the Presidential Signature event, only at Bev Smith Kia, saving you the most on the Treasure Coast.
The call and consultation are free.
Call 1-800-307-9899.
Winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
It's going to be a wild day out here as the storm cranks up. Driving is not recommended.
Live coverage continues in a moment, only on the Weather Channel.
Snowfall from Neptune today in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh, and you can barely see across the street in these images. We appreciate all of the video that everyone has been sending to us. Just do it very safely, and remember, if you are going to be taking that on your phones, remember to turn horizontally. Well, there is no rest for snow-weary New England as another storm system takes aim. Some parts of the region could see an additional 2 feet of snow and extremely cold wind chills. Dan Shinneman has the latest.
The snow began falling Saturday evening in New England, just the start of what forecasters say could be a historic winter storm for the region. Earlier in the day, trucks loaded up and headed out to position much-needed sand and salt ahead of the storm. as winter-weary residents got ready for yet another round of Mother Nature's worst.
Hope this is the last storm for the year.
The snow already caused major problems as the storm system moved eastward.
It was wide out. You couldn't see nothing.
Nearly 24 vehicles crashed on Indiana's I-69.
Everybody got hit hard.
And near Erie, Pennsylvania, a 107-car pileup along I-90. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Forecasters say the storm's biggest punch will come Sunday, bringing dangerous blizzard conditions and extremely cold wind chills to millions.
I'm tired of wearing big puffer coats.
From frigid New York to Boston.
Can't stress this enough. I'm going to say it again. Please stay off the roads late tonight and all day tomorrow.
With a chance at a record second blizzard in the same winter.
I don't think anybody's going to be talking about the blizzard of '78 anymore. It's now about 2015.
3 consecutive snowstorms, week after week after week. So it's been like a jab, 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 and now it's like the right hook.
A 1, 2, 3, and now 4th punch to the region. Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Yeah, we're talking about history now. I mean, when you're talking blizzard of '78 and people say now it's going to be 2015, it might be the season of 2015. As now Neptune looks like it's starting to get its act together here out across the eastern, just east of New Jersey, where pressure is falling and looks like low pressure developing now. As you can see on the radar, starting to see now the radar fill in back over the Atlantic and back further toward the west as the one batch of snow has gone on through to produce 17 inches of snow in parts of Maine. And now we're going to see more with the wind too, gusting to 36 miles per hour in Altoona, and gusty winds and damaging winds further down toward the south with over 100 or maybe it's even 200,000 people without power out through parts of Virginia and the Carolinas too. Richmond, a gust of 38. That's almost tropical storm force. And the winds will continue to rip and they'll really start getting going again out through the northeast and New England. Right now, winds fairly calm, believe it or not, at least less than 20 miles an hour out on the island. But right now we're starting to see this starting to fill in here. The main area of low pressure, which will be coming on up and making the turn up and off across the New England coast, will head on off toward the north and east. Right now it is snowing though along I-95 here out through Maine and parts of New Hampshire, where it's actually snowing pretty hard in some spots, some moderate to even the burst of heavier snow expected. And as we go through the morning here, you can see we are seeing some of those gusts now starting to pick up around New York City. You got Deuces 22 mile per hour wind gusts recently. Hartford about 10 miles per hour sustained. Same thing in Boston, but back behind that Arctic front. Look at the wind here. Around Binghamton, 20 mile per hour sustained winds with a 29 mile per hour gust. The forecast as we go through this morning, notice the snow starting to spread in now. This is a first batch in the darker blue, but as we go through the morning hours here on Sunday, watch the darker blue come back here into eastern parts of not only Massachusetts, but also Maine and that little sliver of New Hampshire. Blizzard conditions expected probably after 4 o'clock this morning and maybe even some thunder snow. Our Global Forecast Center actually has thunder snow in the forecast for Boston as we go on through the latter part of the morning. And so we're looking at an additional snowfall. We're looking at an additional 8 to 12 out across eastern Maine and maybe 3 to 5 or 5 to 8 here with the heaviest totals probably out on the Cape. So we're really not looking at a big snow event. It's going to be more about the snow that's already fallen and then the winds, and the strong winds will rip 40, 50 miles per hour with some of the gusts, possibly even a little bit higher. And some of those wind gusts certainly reducing visibilities. Dangerous wind chills too, and most likely power outages along with a water rise, which should not be as bad as Juno. Danielle?
Coverage of winter storms Neptune and Octavia continue right here all weekend long on the Weather Channel. We're, of course, extending the coverage to keep you and your family safe. And if you're away from your TV, remember, you can always get the latest information on weather.com and on your mobile device. Guys, we've got reporters in place all across the Northeast. As we head into the day tomorrow, we'll, of course, be checking back in with our Stephanie Abrams from Boston. So much more coverage from the Weather Channel, your weather authority. When we return, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, do you remember that commercial from Wendy's? Where's the beef? Well, we're saying, where's the snow? That was a really terrible Boston accent. Here in Boston, so where is the snow? Where are the winds? I'm meteorologist Stephanie Abrams with a live report here on Weather Center with Ray Stajic and Danielle Banks. Good evening, good morning, guys. I don't know what you say at this hour.
I think that was good enough. Where's the beef?
So.
And in perfect New England accent. Thanks for joining us for all-night coverage of Winter Storm Neptune. I'm Ray Stajic.
And I'm Danielle Banks. Right now, we have 78 million people under winter alerts due to winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
Yeah, and more than 113 million under some sort of wind chill alert. Dangerous cold coming in. If you do have to head out, which we're not recommending, I would certainly say dress in layers. Multiple layers, as Stephanie is up in Boston. So the chill is on. Winter's on and in full force here, and it's been quite a winter here in the New England states, and more coming. One batch of snow going through with a disturbance, and now the main low here from Neptune looks like it's starting to get going now, and things are going to go downhill. Steph wants to know where the beef is. Well, the beef is down here just east of New Jersey. Looks like the greatest pressure falls coming in, and radar's starting to fill in a little bit, so we should start seeing the winds pick up. Now, these winds actually been with the Arctic front that's dove south and southeast, and it's driven that cold air down into Richmond, gusts of 36 miles per hour. Roanoke sustained at 30. There are over 100,000 power outages through Virginia and through the mid-Atlantic states and down into the Carolinas, where we are continuing to see these winds rip. And I'll tell you this, even in Atlanta, that wind's starting to pick up and the temperatures are going that way, in the wrong direction. Look at this. Starting to see this snow. You can really start seeing pick it up in intensity and coverage now just off the coast here and even in and around the Jersey Shore, up near Seaside Heights and eventually onto Long Island. But for now, there is a little low in the action, except in coastal Maine, where we are seeing some heavier snowfall coming across 95 as we speak, and down further south where Steph is in Boston. Yeah, we're kind of in this little break in the action, but Brandon tells me, our weather producer, that about after 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, things should start picking up once again in Boston, where the wind will start picking up first, the snow will start flying once again. At Logan, sustained to 15 right now. New York City, starting to see your gusts pick up to 22 miles per hour. So starting to see things gel a little bit this morning. As you can see through 2 o'clock this morning, snow mainly light with that batch of heavier snow up through Maine. But then watch the darker blue fill in as we go through this morning. See at 6 o'clock this morning around Boston, start to see that low make that move off toward the north. That is some of the heavier snow coming on in. That's when we could expect blizzard conditions and really a big wind event. The winds forecast the gust possibly close to hurricane force in some spots, especially on the Cape, where we are expecting to see the heaviest of the snowfall. And this is what we expect in terms of snow. This isn't going to go down the record books as a snow event. It's going to be more about the wind, more about the blowing and drifting snow, and adding to what we've already had on the ground. So certainly going to be a problem for cleanup here around Boston, maybe another 3 to 5. The bonus from Caribou and out across down East Maine, where we'll see some double-digit snow totals coming on in. Danielle?
All right, thanks so much, Ray. Well, let's go ahead and send it back out to Stephanie Abrams right now. Hi there, all bundled up. Now, I know you've been in way worse conditions than this, but obviously you have so many layers on for very good reason.
Yeah, you know, it's really not that bad. And you guys were talking about snowfall here. I wanted to get the number right because we are now the snowiest month on record here in Boston. So I want to get these numbers for you right. Okay, so the old record is 43.3 January 2005, and the new record 45.5. So it is literally the snowiest it's ever been for any month here. And you guys, we just had some people come on by, and they were drunk. And my producer said to me, they're so drunk they didn't even know they were cold. And so I just want to make that point. I'm a little concerned about people, you know, being out. We need to check on each other because when you're drunk, it actually doesn't make you warmer. It just makes you think you're warmer.
Well, I think being drunk tends to make you think a lot of different things, and that's probably just one of the
that is true
on the list. So, but at any rate, we're glad that you are physically warm and doing well. I've seen a lot of people running around behind you, a decent amount of vehicles on the road for this time of night.
Yeah, I mean, it's Boston. It's a big city, and there's just a few stragglers walking around. And these sidewalks, listen, these aren't the best clean, but I want to give props to the people in Boston because the city is doing a really good job cleaning. I don't know if you can see it, but across the street, you see these stairs here. I mean, that entire deck of stairs is completely cleared off. There's very little snow on it, so it's easy to get around, though there are just mounds of snow everywhere else. You can see the piles there, and then here's what it looks like. Listen, I feel like I've showed you this, or Cantori or Seidel or someone has showed you this over and over again, but you just have these huge mounds of snow, and you guys were talking about the wind. It hasn't picked up yet. We're waiting for that low to deepen, but all this snow is on the light side, so it's going to start blowing around. We could see a ground blizzard, which means that you're going to have visibilities down to a quarter of a mile or less for, at least 3 hours. So that's going to be really the big problem. And Ray, I heard you, I saw some lightning on the radar a little bit earlier, just offshore. The potential for thunder snow here in Boston would be pretty epic. I mean, it's like they've had it all, right? You might as well throw some thunder snow in there too, which means a lot of convection.
Yeah, and then Brandon told us there's actually thunder snow in the GFC forecast. So it's actually coming up. The forecasters here thinking thunder snow later this morning. Brandon, 11 o'clock? Did you say 11 o'clock? I think he said 11. Yeah, 11 o'clock this morning, Steph.
Okay.
So, I really think that people are sitting here and they're looking at you and they're listening to us and they're maybe thinking about what they should be doing to prepare for the next round. Are you getting that sense that even those people that are out there are aware that, this thing isn't over?
I think it depends on who you talk to, because these two young kids that I just talked to, they were like, so what could we expect? So you have some people that have no idea. I guess that's how it is in life, right? Some people know, some people don't. And then I have the woman in the train, plane. That's how I got here. Not a car, a train. I actually flew here. I didn't take the Heel Toe Express either. She said, they are ready for the winds because they always lose power, especially on the Cape where she is. So they shut down basically the entire house. And Danielle, they just kind of hover in one room with the heat because no power means no Wi-Fi, no heat, the whole 9 yards.
All right. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll check back in with you. And I personally love watching Stephanie or Mike Seidel crawl into a snow pile any day. It's part of the reason I've been a fan of the Weather Channel even before I even worked here. I always say I was a fan before I was a friend. Let's talk about something that's not so friendly, of course, getting back to the specifics on this bitter cold. And again, the Arctic blast, which is not only invading portions of the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, but guys, we're talking about temperatures running 15 to 25 degrees below average all the way into sections of the South. It's coming on down into Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. We talked about this across the Carolinas. The wind chills, the frostbite that you could get in a matter of minutes because the wind chill values are going to be ranging anywhere from 15 to 25 below. Now, for some folks, you've been in more extreme than that, but still, that is enough. Come on, it's the middle of February. A lot of people very upset with their local groundhogs, I have to say, not liking this extension on winter. Let's talk about, again, the extension that we are going to see as we go into Monday, early morning. This is what we're focusing in on, where you see that the wind chill values are going to be closer to 25 below, specifically in Boston, but some places are going to be a lot more extreme than that. Again, frostbite in a matter of minutes. On this estimate in Boston for Monday morning, it would only take 30 minutes, even less than that. Don't even risk it. We'll be right back.
Americans. 57% of us try to exercise regularly. 83% try to eat healthy. Yet up to 90% of us fall short in getting key nutrients from food alone. Let's do more together. Add one a day, complete with key nutrients we may need. Plus, for women, physical energy support with B vitamins. And for men, it helps support healthy blood pressure with vitamin D and magnesium. Take one a day multivitamins.
While others go in circles and repeat themselves, we choose to carve our own path in the pursuit of exhilaration. The 306 horsepower Lexus GS. Experience the next level of performance, and there's no going back. Lease the 2015 GS 350F Sport with complimentary navigation system for these terms. See your Lexus dealer.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 51 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
It's going to be a wild day out here as the storm cranks up. Driving is not recommended.
Live coverage continues in a moment, only on the Weather Channel.
Let's go!
Hold on to your bikini bottoms. Because the #1 movie in America is the ultimate treat.
If you ate all that, you'd have enough energy to run around the world.
When is this sugar gonna wear off?
The SpongeBob Movie, rated PG.
Apples are good. A Strongbow hard cider, better. But Strongbow over ice is the best. Enjoying Strongbow over ice with your slow-motion horse? The bestest. Strongbow, world's #1 hard cider.
As the host of a popular home improvement show, I know a lot about finding a great contractor for home repairs and improvement projects.
Now there's HomeAdvisor.com, a free service that matches your project to top local service professionals.
We didn't have to do any work other than say what we needed.
Just 1, 2, 3, I found my guy and everything was smooth.
And it's always free to use.
We've had nothing but fabulous every single time.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com now to get started on your next project.
Home Advisor.
Winter storm Neptune in Virginia. Video sent to us this time around from Dave Hartman showing the wind and the snow that has been rolling in since the evening. Very extreme.
Yeah, that snow and that wind getting real far south, over 200,000 now without power because of just the wind. Kind of amazing. And that was just the front. So Winter Storm Neptune, a life-threatening situation here with the storm moving into the northeast. Blizzard warnings in place from Boston to Bangor, Maine.
And behind that, some of the coldest temperatures in nearly 2 decades. Mike Seidel out there braving the storm for us in Plymouth, Massachusetts tonight.
And Danielle, that makes me shiver thinking about that. Right now we're at 24 and the wind chill down around 10 to 12 degrees. The wind now coming in from the north and northeast. And this is really going to ramp up in the next 3 to 4 hours. Jim Cantore will be out here starting at 5 Eastern, and he'll have a whole different visual to show you. More snow and a lot more wind, which is going to pick up the 5 inches we already had. This is a pretty powdery snow, and you can see it's not blowing around much right now, but it will be, and that's the real issue. Even once the snow stops falling on Sunday afternoon, the ground blizzards, and that's why the blizzard warning goes until 7 a.m. Monday morning. Hey, by the way, airport issues. The New York City airports, LaGuardia, Newark, and JFK. I just did a back of the envelope calculation, and between those 3 airports, roughly 700 flights, departures and arrivals so far have been canceled for Sunday, later today, primarily because of the wind issues there. And here in Boston, or just up the coast at Logan, up the coast here from Plymouth, they have canceled just about 400 flights, and that's 2/3 of their departures. So if you're going out of Boston's Logan Airport on Sunday, more than likely your flight has already been canceled. Make sure you check with your air carrier. Again, the bottom line is the bitter cold that follows the snow. This wind is going to come up and it's going to stay up into Monday. Monday's going to be blustery. We're going to have sub-zero wind chills, Ray, probably into at least late Monday night and early Tuesday morning. Ray, back to you.
All right, Mike, thanks. And yeah, sub-zero wind chills in New York City. If you get down to 1, which I think we're forecasting, that'll be 20-year cold. The actual air temperature hasn't been that cold in about 20 years in Central Park. Now we move south, and this is Winter Storm Octavia and what we are expecting. maybe some ice, maybe some snow. Watches already out and advisories. The winter storm watch means that the potential existing for winter weather from Nashville off toward Birmingham and Huntsville, even Rome, Georgia, and back toward areas just north of Tupelo, Mississippi. This is where we could see some wintry weather. Now, as we get into Sunday night here, some freezing rain expected at Little Rock around Searcy, rolling on off toward the east. Freezing rain, sleet, snow, and then rain further down toward the south, as even places like Atlanta, Georgia, as we go on through Monday and Monday night, could see some precipitation in the form of freezing rain and or snow. And then eventually the low moves on off toward the east and northeast into the Outer Banks, possibly around Raleigh, maybe Salisbury, Maryland, into even the Hampton Roads area. May see a little bit of wintry precipitation, and easily all rain further south, but maybe some pockets of freezing rain as we go on through the next couple of days, with Octavia continuing to roll on off slowly toward the east. And then look at this through Monday night. Right now, our best forecast for snow right along the Interstate 40 corridor. So you get into the western mountains of North Carolina around Hickory and even Asheville and Nashville. You're in at Knoxville in this darker purple, maybe a stripe of 5 to 8 inches. And if that looks more eminent, Weather Service offices will most likely go to winter storm warnings here out across the south. Springfield, Missouri, southeast, even into the Boot Hill in Arkansas. You are expecting to see some of that snow. Now, Atlanta, pretty close to maybe an inch or so, especially north of the perimeter. North Georgia mountains might get an inch or two. Same thing as we head on into northeast parts of Alabama, and possibly a little bit of ice. Danielle?
Ice, not the word a lot of people want to hear. Well, Winter Storm Neptune getting stronger, the winds just intensifying across the Northeast. Of course, as we go through the next few hours, we are going to show you where the heaviest snow is going to fall, and of course, where those major travel concerns will be from the Mid-Atlantic to Maine.
Please.
No.
Please.
No.
For those headaches that just aren't bad enough for a lot of medicine, there's new Excedrin Mild Headache. 35% less medicine, plus a booster to end everyday headaches fast.
Wow, my headache's gone.
Excedrin Mild Headache.
Don't miss Founders Days at Pep Boys, where you can get great deals all week long. Like when you buy 3 select tires, you'll get the 4th one free instantly. Plus, get special financing for 6 months when you sign up for the Pep Boys Car Care One credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Introducing Olive Garden's first ever 4-course, starting at $12.99. Enjoy an individual appetizer, salad, and breadsticks. One of 6 entrees like smoked mozzarella chicken, and a decadent dessert. 4 courses start at just $12.99 at Olive Garden.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Behind this door, there's a scientific genius at work. My daughter. It all started when she got a Dell 2-in-1. It's a tablet when you want it, and a laptop when you need it. Dell 2-in-1s with Intel inside have everything you need to learn and do just about anything. Whoa, genius! Like father, like daughter.
Dell 2-in-1s start at $399.99.
From the very start, I wanted FitCore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do, because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
Stay true to yourself. You can do this how you want to do it, and somebody else is going to think that's awesome and want to do it that way too.
Vistaprint.com.
We build weather inventions.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe.
If you're battling addiction, it's not easy to ask for help. End Addiction would like to help you. End Addiction can help you get immediate admission into a recovery center near you. Many insurance plans will pay up to $30,000 for the cost of getting you help with no money out of pocket. The first step to ending addiction starts with one free private and no obligation call. there are things you still need to do. The first thing is to call End Addiction.
1-800-435-1043.
Fresh, fun, informative. It's Fox and Friends. Weekday mornings, pull up a seat and join Steve, Elizabeth, and Brian on the curvy couch. Get a jump start on the important stories, hot topics, and issues everyone will be talking about. Plus, you never know who's going to stop by or what's going to happen next. Get in on the conversation weekday mornings on Fox and Friends.
Azure. Waterfront living. Perfected. Call today for a personal appointment.
Shipping and even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today.
Currently in our area, 49 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, we want you to take a look at just how dangerous things were in West Virginia today. This is a toll road near Ghent. Visibility less than a quarter of a mile. I feel like this image is a little deceiving on that. I feel like the visibility is a little better here, but the road completely covered with snow.
Yeah, quarter mile, about a city block. Whiteout conditions also in State College. As winds blowing sideways with the Arctic front earlier on Saturday. This video from Teresa Lunsford. As the Arctic front came through, the winds ripped, and boy, did we have some big-time squalls briefly and some brief heavy snow.
And we're going to see so much more as the night rolls on, which is why we really appreciate you being with us. We, of course, also appreciate our reporters in the field.
Yeah, down East Maine could see some of the heaviest snow totals from Winter Storm Neptune.
And that's where meteorologist Keith Carson is. He's in Portland, a city bracing for another 5 to 8 inches with 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Well, here in Portland, Maine, it's been snowing through the afternoon hours, and we picked up a couple of inches already. Down to the south, over a foot of snow being reported down towards Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and into Old Orchard Beach. This is where some of the heavier bands have been rotating in. Look, still the same problem that we had when we were here for Winter Storm Marcus, which wasn't all that long ago. We still have a ton of snow. None of it is melted, and it's going to be blowing all over the place as we head into the day tomorrow. Winds on the backside of the storm system could be gusting over 50, 60 miles an hour. As far as street conditions go, you know, I've said it before, and it's definitely the case here in Maine. They're good at clearing snow when they need to, but there's going to be a period of time during the overnight hours where they're going to be a little bit more laissez-faire with it, telling people just not to travel, or if you're going to do so, you just got to be really careful. So we'll watch the winds kick up through the day on Sunday. This thing should be out of here as we head into Sunday night, but after it, brutal cold lingers around. Back to you.
All right, Keith, thanks. All right, and we're starting to see things developing now in terms of the Maine low. We do have one batch of moisture where the higher, colder cloud tops painted in pink, well offshore of the Cape. But this is where we believe now the main area of low pressure is going to form and is going to start kicking the winds up once again. As so far, we haven't seen too much with this low onshore in terms of snowfall. It's been with this area of low pressure further toward the north and kind of like a little convergence zone there that's brought the snow in, and it's come down heavily. We've had double-digit totals out through parts of Maine. Now the winds with the Arctic front have been ripping to about 30 miles an hour in Pittsburgh, gusts to 43 in and around Washington, D.C., and there have been power outages out across the mid-Atlantic. I mean, these winds are tropical storm force. Once you get above 39 miles per hour, yeah, with some of those gusts, it doesn't take much to actually start seeing some of the trees come down and maybe trees falling on power lines. We certainly hope that doesn't continue. We do expect it to get worse, especially eastern Long Island out near the Hamptons and Montauk Point, before it gets better now. As over the last couple couple of frames here, you can see the radar filling in a little more here out over the Atlantic Ocean, and that's our low pressure system getting ready to come on in. And here's that area of convergent snow where the I-95 corridor in and around Portland has seen moderate snowfall. The wind's been whipping around and it's been blowing the snow around, but there's been kind of this lull in between with the winds at Logan only 15 miles an hour, Hartford at 10, but starting to gust now in New York City to 22 miles an hour, and looks like that's where the winds are going to start to pick up first. As we go through this morning, you can see the lighter blues begin to fill in, and we'll start seeing that darker blue and the snow getting a little bit heavier. Looks like it's going to be a quick shot, but still expecting blizzard conditions out across eastern parts of New England. Danielle?
Well, special coverage of winter storms Neptune and Octavia continues in just minutes. Snow falling right now in a region hit by 4 consecutive winter storms. This video you're looking at from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We're going to show you where the heaviest snow is falling right now. It's all coming up when we return after your local on the 8s.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here in my lower back. But now I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My lower back pain. Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Tonight, every dish came out of the cupboard. Literally. Can this mess be conquered by a little bit of Dawn Ultra? Yes. One bottle has the grease cleaning power of 2 bottles of this bargain brand. Dawn. It's amazing what a drop can do.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom? No problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Who wants pizza rolls? This game day, fun harder with Totino's Pizza Rolls.
If you're taking multiple medications, does your mouth often feel dry? A dry mouth can be a side effect of many medications, but it can also lead to tooth decay and bad breath. That's why there's Biotene. Available as an oral rinse, toothpaste, spray, or gel, Biotene can provide soothing relief, and it helps keep your mouth healthy, too. Remember, while your medication is doing you good, a dry mouth isn't. Biotene, for people who suffer from a dry mouth.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Save 25% on durable Firestone Destination LE2 tires for your SUV at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Hi, my name's Serena, and today is day 1 of my HydroxyCut transformation.
We're gonna live free.
I lost 30 pounds. HydroxyCut really works.
HydroxyCut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand. Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Off and on throughout my life, I struggled with my weight, and HydroxyCut is the only thing that has worked for me.
HydroxyCut lets you lose weight your way. And go to hydroxycut.com to access the Be Thinner in 30-day starter plan.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 49 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly clear skies. Low 47. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday, a mainly sunny sky. High 74. Winds north-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, clear to partly cloudy. Low 55. Winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Winter storms Neptune and Octavia.
It's going to be a wild day out here as the storm cranks up. Driving is not recommended.
Live coverage continues in a moment, only on the Weather Channel.
And this is what it looked like in Pennsylvania yesterday along Interstate 79 on Saturday. Wow. Look at those cars. They're just crawling along there. This interstate runs north and south between West Virginia and Erie. Interstate got hit with a heavy snow squall Saturday afternoon. That same line eventually moved into D.C. and Baltimore, and some of the winds gusting just after midnight in Germantown, Maryland. 68 miles an hour. Can you imagine having some snow with that?
That would be very intense. That is not what you want flying at your windshield, which is why everyone's being advised to stay off the road. We really appreciate you staying with us for our extended coverage of 2 major winter storms.
Yeah, we've got Neptune. That's going to go into the New England states. And Octavia now in the south, trying to get an eye on places like Birmingham, Atlanta. But it looks like that I-40 corridor, which I'm going to talk about in just a bit, is in line for the worst.
But it's Neptune that currently has our attention, and we want to bring you up to speed on the winter storm alerts that are spread out across so much in the Northeast. Of course, I know your eye is really getting drawn to the pink shades on your screen, which is where we have our current blizzard warnings in place.
Yeah, and it may not be just for falling snow. It's blowing snow and it's the wind, and the most widespread power outage is expected maybe in eastern New England. Now, here's what we know right now about Winter Storm Neptune. City of Boston has banned all parking, and the MBTA has canceled all train and bus service for the entire day.
We're going to hear from Boston's mayor a little bit later in the morning about the progress on their snow removal, obviously keeping everybody up to date very well on this. I have to give compliments to that team.
Yeah, at 7:30 this morning, we've got a new high tide coming on in, and we'll see if the water is going to rise. We don't think as bad as Juneau, but still with that wind, and that wind being a huge concern, not only for Maine, but down toward the Carolinas, we're going to have to keep our eye on it. There's already more than 250,000 people without power. Virginia, North Carolina, and that wind blowing snow, leading to those whiteout conditions as Neptune moved through the Midwest on Saturday. 4 people, unfortunately, losing their lives in pileups in Indiana and Ohio.
And that's why we just advise people to just stay off the roads at all costs. It is just not worth the risk. Our coverage of Winter Storm Neptune continues, of course, with one of the best, meteorologist Stephanie Abrams, who is live in Boston already. Number 8 all-time snowiest season. So taking off the gloves, putting them back on.
Yeah, snowiest season, and then we've actually had the snowiest month on record here in Boston. The old record was 43.3, the new record 45.5. And you guys, when I'm on air, I can't just do status quo, because if I'm bored, you're bored watching, right? That's how it works. So I thought to myself, all right, what can I do when I'm out here, because there's not a whole lot going on. So I said, hey, does anyone know what direction the wind is, or what direction north, south, east, and west is? They said north is that way, and I said that makes total sense. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, all day we had temperatures like in the 30s because we had a southerly wind. When someone says you have a southerly wind, the wind comes from the south and goes north. If you have an easterly wind, it comes from the east. So if you say the wind direction, that's where the wind is coming from. So we had a southerly wind, so I'm looking around, and it makes sense. If the winds were from the south, then that's blowing the snow from the south to the north. So this side of the barrel is covered in snow, while the front side is free. Also on the poles, the back side of this pole is clear, and then you can see a little bit of snow accumulating here because the wind's going from the south to the north, so it all loads up. Now, temperatures are dropping, okay? So now we're in the teens, we're at 17, and we have a north-northwest wind, so the winds are coming from that direction. And by the way, my camera guy was dead on because the snow is going towards him, so we have that northerly wind blowing the snow from the north to the south, so we're going to see the buildup on the other side of the poles. And guys, interesting fact, we were just all saying how it's really not that cold here, but it's 16 degrees in Nashville. It's essentially the same temperature and same wind chill in the single digits here that it is in Nashville, Vegas.
Yeah, Stefan, you ready for Meteorology 101? Speaking of the wind?
Yeah.
All right, you put your back to the wind, where's low pressure? Where's low pressure if you put your back to the wind?
Okay. I have to, okay, so if my back is to the wind, my low pressure is going to be to my south.
So low pressure usually to your right. If you put your back to the wind, low pressure usually to your right. So, yeah, I think we've got it. And it is to your south. We know that meteorologically, too. So, Steph, looks like 7 o'clock this morning.
Ray, I also wanted, I wanted to tell you guys something funny, too, is a lot of people have made jokes, friends here, and someone just walked by joking about the Olympics. I won't get into it because that'll just get everyone all upset and in a tizzy. But I thought, you know what, that's funny because a year ago, I was in Russia wearing almost shorts and a T-shirt for the Winter Games, and here, you know, we have over 70 inches of snow and it's freezing. So I just thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, well, thanks, Steph. And yeah, certainly not one winter does an Olympic city make, I don't think, anyway, because we could have winters where we actually end up with little or no snow in some of the big cities in the east. All right, let's take it over to Danielle now. Take a look at Philadelphia.
Leave it to Steph to turn into a live human compass on national television. My goodness. Oh, well, a live look right now at Philadelphia, currently at 17 degrees, and I know that you are bracing for even worse, as so many locations are. Let's go ahead and get you zeroed in on some of those current wind gusts. As we were just saying, Philly currently 17 degrees. Here's a look at some of the gusts that we are seeing off to your south in cities like Washington, D.C. 43 mile per hour wind gust right now. Not quite as bad in Richmond. Your winds are almost about the same in Pittsburgh, as well as Altoona and Charleston with a 30 mile per hour gust. And of course, Pittsburgh, home of Sarah's Chocolates, you know that they did some fantastic business on this Valentine's for sure. But probably want a little more than chocolate to keep you warmed up at this point. We certainly know that hot chocolate is probably the way to go. Let's talk about where the snow currently is falling, and you can see just off to the south of New York City, certainly Jersey, seeing that, and additional amounts of snowfall up that 95 corridor, which we will continue to see building in as the morning hours progress. And of course, we've got a lot more still to come before the end of the day officially arrives on Sunday. So here we are at the front end, and we'll be with you to the back end of it as well, all the way into early Monday on President's Day. Here's a look at more specifics on the timing. Again, here we are at 1:30 right now, getting into breakfast time. You can see where that snowfall is definitely still going to be making more progress around portions of upstate Maine. As we go into early a.m. on Monday, you can see where we begin to pull away just a bit. But of course, at that point is when we're really going to be focusing in on a lot of spots in the southeast getting their own daily dose of snowfall. Let's talk about our blizzard tracker in specific for Boston. I'm going to step aside right here just so you can see this just a little bit easier on the map, especially taking a look at where we start to pick up on more moderate snowfall, and especially that reduced visibility in specific. Remember, we're pretty much from here on out, next 2 to 3 hours is when we are going to see, again, some of the biggest snowfall coming for Boston, and then it begins to trail off, as we mentioned to you, in a lot of respects by lunchtime, but still more to come by the end of the day. Ray?
All right, Danielle, now dropping 44 degrees in Atlanta. Winter storm watch in effect starting Monday morning at 1 o'clock in the morning. So temperatures dropping, anxiety going up in the wrong direction out across the southeast now, with a lot of blue on the map here, the light blue where the winter storm watches. Now, this is normally when we're thinking that the potential does exist for a winter type event and even through Springfield and Memphis and Huntsville, Birmingham, and Atlanta and some of the southern suburbs under a winter storm watch, meaning we are thinking that right now there could be some wintry weather. Jet stream now starting to pull some of that cold air down from Canada. Finally, the south may be getting in on the act, and that cold air will be in place. And we're going to throw moisture over the top of it as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. And even on Monday, that stalled front and a little ripple of weak low pressure will come on in and advect that warmer air over the top of the cold dome. And that's why we are expecting the snow and ice threat. Details not quite worked out yet, but certainly the opportunity for slippery travel, the I-40 corridor out across central Tennessee, Nashville. You could be one of the spots that may see close to 6 inches of snow. Danielle?
The video from Maryland shows you exactly what Winter Storm Neptune is capable of. I'll show you where the wind, you can hear it there, and the bitter cold will combine for a very dangerous morning.
Currently in our area, 49 degrees under fair skies. Overnight, mainly